guys, welcome back to the channel. Prepared Wanderer here in the Prepared Wanderer Man Cave, and today I want to talk about sharpening knives for dummies. And the reason I call this video that is because, you know, when I first started buying knives for bushcraft and for outdoor, camping and survival and that kind of stuff, I really didn't know what I was doing with sharpening, and I found the whole thing pretty confusing. There were so many systems out on the market. I mean, there's tons of them. Look on any online retailer that sells knives, and there's all kinds of sharpening systems that you can buy, and everybody has an opinion on what they should use, and everybody has an idea of what their favorite is. But for someone who's just starting out, it really can be confusing. So what I wanted to show today is a few products that I have found to be very simple, very easy to use, and they kind of help clear up some of the misconceptions and myths of knife sharpening, and they certainly help you get to sharpening a knife much quicker than a lot of other stuff that's out there. Now, I still consider myself pretty much a novice at knife sharpening. I'm probably not that great at it. I'm learning still, but these knife sharpening systems that I'm going to show you today that I use have really helped me a lot. And I like using them. I think they're well made, and they just work. So hopefully this will help some people who are kind of struggling with the same issue that I have, is like, what do I use? I mean, if you go out there and you look, there's all kinds of things like wet stones, Arkansas stones, there's crock sticks, there's the Spider Coast system, there's diamond plate. There's all kinds of different stuff that you can use. But I just want to kind of take the hassle out of that. And that's what I was looking for when I started this. I just really wanted to find something that worked, and it was simple and easy for my big dumb brain to understand. And I think I found it. And so far I've been pretty satisfied with it. So we're going to get into it. I'm going to show you what I got, and then hopefully that'll spark some conversation down below in the comments section, and people kind of share what they use and how they do it. Like I said, I'm not an expert, so I'm not telling you this is what you have to go out and buy. This is what I use, and I hope it helps somebody. If not, well, whatever. So stick around. We're gonna get into it. So the system that I've kind of landed on for sharpening knives is a system by WorkSharp, and WorkSharp's been around for a little while. And the first product that they came out with and that I purchased was this. This is the WorkSharp knife and tool sharpener, and basically what this. All right, so the way this system works is it's basically a belt sharpening system. If you go to a knife shop, I think a lot of knife makers use a much larger version of this with a much wider belt. So what they've done is they've taken that idea and shrunk it down into this little system, and it's kind of neat because you have a trigger button on the bottom here, and you can do just a momentary on and off, or with a constant on and off, so you can keep it running. And the other nice thing about this system is you can change these belts out. So it's going to come with 3 different grits of belt. There's going to be a real fine, a medium, and then a more coarse. Typically you want to start with the medium on a knife that's dull and see how that goes. You don't want to be too aggressive right away. You want to check and see how that works. Now, once you put the guide on, it's a 40-degree angle, so it's 20 degrees each side. And what you do is, or how I do it anyway, when you're doing this, you really want to make sure that you're keeping the blade parallel and straight with this guide right here and pulling back against it. You don't want to be rocking the blade as you're going through. So it takes a little bit of practice to get used to that. The other thing is I don't bring my tip all the way through and pull out. If you do that, you're going to end up grinding the tip of the knife down. So what I do is, just at the last second, I kind of pull it up and out so it's not going all the way through the belt. And then if you want to freehand that tip, you can, but there's basically two types of tests I do for blades, and that's can't slice paper and can't shave hair. It's cutting hair a little bit, but not great, so definitely need some more work on this. Can also do a knife that has more of a straight edge, like this one. Bigger blades, like that. First, let's see how sharp this one is. Yeah, it's dragging. Cutting still, but it's dragging, so it needs to be touched up. Much finer. So then I take it over to my leather belt strap. And we'll try it again. That's pretty respectable. I could definitely go more on it with the different belts and progress through those, and that would certainly give it even a better edge. But for this demonstration, it works just fine. So this is the Work Sharp knife and tool sharpener. It's the first one that they came out with. There's another version that's out called the Ken Onion version. I don't have any experience with that. It's supposed to be pretty spectacular, but this one, the basic model, works just fine. Of course, you can buy more belts through Work Sharp. You can order them through their website. Alright, so one thing I wanted to show you guys is how I use this sharpener without the guide. This allows you to do some freehanding. And when you get into larger blades like this tomahawk, this will not fit through the guide. It's just too big, too thick. And with a little practice and patience, you can actually do some freehand sharpening. I got the constant on. What I'm doing is I'm just going to follow that bevel. There's a bevel already on here, so I just need to follow it. Everywhere, and just a great item to have for your shop. Now, a new item that I just got is this Work Sharp guided sharpener. My lovely wife bought this for me for my birthday, and God bless her, it's pretty awesome. So what's nice about this system is it has several different features that the grinder doesn't have. You've got diamond plating, so it's a diamond sharpener, and this is the coarse. And then you also have a fine that it comes with, and these are basically magnetic, so they just clip right in there like that. You have guides for 20 degree and 17. They'll snap right into place there. And then you have two different ways of sharpening a knife with this, or for two different styles of knives, I should say. If you unlock this, it will pivot. So if you have a curved blade, you're able to rock as you're sharpening and get all the angles. If you have a straight blade, you're able to lock this down, and then now it doesn't pivot. So it just gives you a couple more options for sharpening. The other nice thing that it comes with is that you can take this portion completely off and then put this in here, and now you have basically a ceramic rod just for touching up a blade. And you can still use these smaller guides right here Now, I don't have as much practice on this yet. I'm still learning, and I just got this. My knife and tool sharpener I've had for a couple years now and have been using it a lot, so this thing is still new to me, but I love this feature that they've built in, this ceramic rod. And then you can also adjust the coarseness of the rod. So if you dial this up here, there's it's a little bit rougher. I believe this is for doing something like a fish hook. There's actually a groove in there. And then of course back to the fine, which I like. Most of my knives, that's all I really need to do is just touch it up with a ceramic rod. And that's why I like having this as well as the grinding sharpener. It's just something for touching up. So these guides really make it, I think, foolproof for someone who's just starting off learning how to do this stuff. If you don't really know about knife angles and what you're supposed to be doing, it's hard to free form, sharpen a blade that has no guides. So these guides at least gives you a starting point. Same number of strokes on this side. Now we should have a very sharp knife. Couple pages of laminated paper. So that's the new system that I just got. I'm really digging it. I think it's going to be a great addition to my workbench. But wait, there's more. There is the Work Sharp guided field sharpener. So, you know, another thing to think about when sharpening knives is that if you're taking your knives out in the woods and you're going camping a lot, sometimes you want to have something that you can take along with you, throw in your pack. And this thing is basically a smaller version of this system. And, you know, WorkSharp has done a great job of coming up with something that is just has so many features built into it. So, same thing as the bigger one. We have magnetic plates, and there's a coarse side and a fine side. There is the crock stick or ceramic stick. And once again, you can dial it to pick the coarseness of it, and also gives you a place to do hooks. There's also a small ceramic stick up here. It's also guided with built-in angles, so you know it's something you can follow along with. And here's a really cool feature. They've actually built in a small leather strap. And there's even more features. There is a broadhead wrench built into this, right there and there. And that way you can take your broadheads off and actually sharpen those. Also, this compartment in here houses the instructions. So you can roll those up and store those if you feel like you need to take them with you if you're still learning. The guides are a 20-degree guide. So they WorkSharp has consistently built in 20-degree guides into their systems. So it's nice because everything now goes together as a sharpening system. Alright guys, I hope you found the video useful today. I just wanted to show you the system that I'm using. I'm really pleased with WorkSharp. They've come out with some really innovative products, I think, for the sharpening market. And for someone who really is a novice at this kind of stuff like myself, I feel real confident when I do this. And you know, the proof is in what I've done with a couple strokes on these blades. I'm able to get them to slice through paper like a razor. If I spent more time with these and actually progress through the belts or progress through the different grits on the tabletop sharpener, I can get them much sharper. So this is just a quick demonstration. By no means is it a how-to guide. The best way to learn anything is to go out and do it yourself and keep trying. I would suggest when you first start with these systems, get yourself some cheap kitchen knives, maybe some old pocket knives that you don't care about that are, you know, junk, and just start working with those. And then as you become more confident, then you can move up to your more expensive knives, and hopefully you'll be able to figure out, you know, really how to make these things work. Like I said, the tool sharpener, the electric one, I've had it for quite a while, and I can, you know, put a really nice edge on all my kitchen knives and my field knives as well. But now that I have this guided sharpening system that I got for my birthday, I can really, I think, come up with some really nice edges. I'm really excited about it. It's fun to use, very easy to understand. They have great instructions and they have great videos on their website. So definitely check out WorkSharp. I think they're definitely worth it for someone who's a beginner and who's a dummy like me. So Okay, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on The Prepared Wanderer.